Do you think this restaurant would sell me a hoagie?
I don't know what you are talking about.
Are you day? A hoagie. The fucking hoagie.
You're being ridiculous. This restaurant sells French food.
Ah yes, the hoagie. Part chips and cheese, part doner meat. Obviously no salad or sauce for me, for I am a Renaissance man.
Go to a kebab shop if you want a hoagie. You are a fucking prized weapon.
But why can't I get one here? Surely this is the natural evolution of our capitalistic economy. Surely if the customer is always right, and what I desire is a hoagie, it is the market's place to bring me one.
Questions such as these had plagued mankind for centuries.
As long as there is life in my body, you shall not eat a hoagie upon this day.
Only revolutionary Marxism could free them from their prison.
Fair enough. I'll order from the menu here.
In our dreams, we shape the world.
Can I get a loan of 20 pence?
What do you need it for?
I want to buy a whisper gold.
As the archaeology of our thought easily shows, man is an invention of recent date. And when perhaps nearing its end.
Can you not get yourself a chomp or a Freddo instead? I'm skinned too.
I'm sorry, it really has to be the whisper. I've been thinking about having one all day.
Sexuality throws no light upon love, but only through love can we learn to understand sexuality.
Okay, here's 20 pence. You deserve a nice treat.
Cheers, pal. I will get you a star bar tomorrow.
The hero journey is inside of you. Tear off the veils and open the mystery of yourself.
I hate this Antiques Roadshow. Antiques Roadshow is for tramps.
Excuse me.
People rooting about trying to sell their old shite to make a quick buck. They make me sick. Get a job, you fucking old wasters.
Okay, mate. Sounds like you are having a normal one.
In dreams begins responsibility.
Why don't you see what's on the other channel, then? I'm sure there's plenty to suit your sick right-wing tastes.
Yes. Can't pay we'll take it away, is on. Fucking brilliant. Get these scruffs telt. Look at the state of these boggin scrounges.
The philosophers have only interpreted the world in various ways. The point, however, is to change it.
I pissed in your milk this morning, you Tory bastard. Do you think the rain will stay off?
I wouldn't count on it. It was pishing it down earlier.
That's a pain in the ass. I was wanting to hang a washing out.
If you do go out, bring me in a fucking hoagie, haha.
Time is a flat circle.
You and your fucking hoagie. It's a wonder you don't weigh 20 stone, Hoagie Man.
I don't crave a succulent hoagie every day, only on days that end in Y.
Many of today's problems are still a direct result of colonialism and British imperialism. Confront your past, or be doomed to repeat history.
You said you liked the steak tartare.
It was decent, but it was missing some key ingredients, namely, chips, cheese and doner meat.
Oh, honestly, Hoagie Man.
The eternal struggle.
Okay, now tell me about the hash bars.
What do you want to know?
Well, hash is legal there, right?
Yeah, it's legal, but it ain't 100% legal. I mean, you can't walk into a restaurant, roll a joint, and start puffing away. You're only supposed to smoke in your home or certain designated places.
That did it, man. I'm fucking going, that's all there is to it.
You'll dig it the most. But you know what the funniest thing about Europe is? It's the little differences. A lot of the same shit we got here, they got there, but they're a little different.
Examples.
Well, in Amsterdam, you can buy tonic wine in a movie theater. And I don't mean in a paper cup either. They give you a full bottle of Bucky, like in a carryout shop. In Paris, you can buy tonic at a kebab shop. Also, you know what they call a hoagie in Paris?
They don't call it a hoagie.
Nah mate, they don't give a fuck.
What did they call it then?
Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese. God damn.
The whole problem with the world is that fools and fanatics are always so certain of themselves, and wiser people so full of doubts.
Cheers for the appointment, Doc. I feel like I'm in peak physical condition, but it's always good to have a checkup.
Yes, Hoagie Man. It's responsible to check in with your GP from time to time.
I may seem like a carefree individual who loves nothing more than smoking bifters and scudding pints with the boys, but deep down I take health and well-being seriously.
The NHS is one of the most humanitarian acts that has ever been undertaken in peacetime.
Well, it's fortunate that you came in when you did. I'm afraid I've got some difficult news from your test results.
It was news that would change life as he knew it.
Just give it to me straight, Doc. Should I cut back on the bevy?
No, no. By all means keep draining delicious cold pints and ripping monster joints to your heart's content. It's about something else, something more delicate.
Oh, I see. Well, I don't know what to tell you. The missus and I always practice safe sex.
No, Hoagie Man. The charts are showing that the dynamite levels in your body have reached critical mass.
Gasp.
You have consumed more units of Hoagie than any other living being in medical history.
There must be some kind of mistake.
Your next Hoagie could kill you.
As proof of one's life, there exists the danger of death. This proof exists as a flame, painfully burning one's life away. Yet though a life crumbles to dust, time moves ever onward. He who had been your proof, your life itself. The answer has been lost, never to be found again.
There are some support groups I can refer you to. Also, I would suggest trying to find something you like from the Chippy or the Chinese instead. I've heard very good things about salt and chili chicken.
Nothing will ever be the same for me again. I have been crushed under the weight of hubris. This is the worst day of my life.
Sometimes, we fly too close to the sun.
So, how is your job going? Archie, it's a piece of piss. Pays the bills, you know. And how is that lassie you've been seeing? Yeah, good thanks. She's away to Lanzarote this week with her pals.
Atonement with the Father.
It's been a wee while since I'd heard from you. Just wanted to make sure everything was okay. Yeah, you know me. Have been sculling pints, smashing Huns and ripping fat bongs as per. Business as usual for Hoagie Man. What's up with ye, son? Ye don't have to put on a brave face for me. Ye haven't been yersel for a wee while new.
In this step the hero must confront and be initiated by whatever holds the ultimate power in his life. In many myths and stories this is the father, or a father figure who has life and death power. This is the center point of the journey.
To be honest with ye, Dad, things haven't been okay for a while now. You can tell me anything, son. The doctor told me I could never eat another hoagie again. I fucked it. Oh, I could switch to a chicken doner hoagie, but it's not the same, da. Nothing is the same. My god, I'm pure rattling. I will die if I ever eat another hoagie, but I also feel like I'll die if I have to spend another minute without biting into one of those magnificent bad boys. It's fucking killing me.
The truth will set you free.
Look, son, ever since my great-grandfather invented the first hoagie, our family have been entrusted as the guardians of the hoagie.
It was a proud history.
For generations, the Hoagie men have been the guardians of peace and justice in Scotland, but our power has never come from consuming the hoagie. So what are you saying? Have you ever actually seen me eating a hoagie? I feel like I must have. But no, I can't think of a single time. This is a natural step in the evolution of all Hoagie men. By losing your physical connection with the hoagie, you will become more powerful than ever. Your next step is spiritual connection with the hoagie.
A new power.
Absence from the beloved hoagie gives us strength. It is only through longing for a succulent hoagie, and true detachment, that we achieve enlightenment as true Hoagie men. I am ready. Buckle up, Hoagie Man. Your true training is about to begin.
The journey continues.
It's been a long conference. I'm glad to be getting home.
I hate these things. They are a waste of fucking time. These new guidelines on discrimination are a stranglehold on honest businessmen such as myself.
Yes, you made that quite clear in your keynote speech.
If women, gays and minorities can't handle the pressure, then they don't belong in an office environment.
As sure as the tide comes in, new threats will always emerge.
Sure.
Exactly. You lot can be so sensitive.
Any interesting plans this evening? I quite fancy a takeaway.
What are you going to get?
It's been a while, but I'm in the mood for a hoagie.
Worlds collide.
A hoagie. In my opinion, there is nothing more disgusting on planet Earth than a fucking hoagie.
All right, steady on.
I hate the hoagie more than I hate the LGBTQ+ movement. I hate the hoagie more than I hate Celtic FC. I hate the hoagie more than I hate Black Lives Matter.
The list continued.
I even hate the hoagie more than I hate paying taxes. Eating a hoagie is something a bogan wee tramp would do. They are the food of fucking disgusting scroungers.
I'm going to move carriage.
That settles it. I'm going to join the Scottish Conservative and Unionist Party, become an MP, and ban the consumption of the hoagie forever.
You may not be interested in war, but war is interested in you.
I've really needed this.
Lanzarote is beautiful this time of year, and the drinks are so cheap.
Even though I'm having the time of my life on this lassie's holiday, I can't help worrying about Hoagie Man.
The Buchwald test is a measure of the representation of women in fiction. It asks whether a work features at least two women who talk to each other about something other than a man. The requirement that the two women must be named is sometimes added.
Are you referring to the inexplicable and rare cholesterol condition he has contracted, whereby if he ever eats another hoagie it will lead to his instant death?
Yes.
I thought you disliked it when Hoagie Man ate his beloved hoagie, and often wished he would be more of a grown-up. Don't you fight about the hoagie constantly?
Yes, but they are never serious arguments. Hoagie Man's love for munching a big dirty hoagie, and washing it down with a pint of Tennent's and smoking a fat banger, are part of what attract me to him. If he loses his exuberance, it might mean the end of our relationship.
Relationships can be tough. You should always remember to get each other little presents, like giving the other person a Whisper Gold or a Star Bar.
If only it were that simple.
Anyone who falls in love is searching for the missing pieces of themselves. So anyone who's in love gets sad when they think of their lover. It's like stepping back inside a room you have fond memories of, one you haven't seen in a long time.
If you were a pint of beer, what kind of pint do you think you'd be?
Probably a blonde beer. I like to set high expectations, plus, I love the Czech Republic.
Interesting.
How about yourself?
Some kind of stout. I think I have a complex flavor, and a tendency to be dark.
Yes, I'd say that's you to a T.
What kind of pint do you think Hoagie Man would be?
If you are lucky enough to have lived in Paris as a young man, then wherever you go for the rest of your life it stays with you, for Paris is a movable feast.
Hoagie Man would be a pint of your standard high street lager, and I don't mean that in a disparaging way.
I think I know what you mean.
He's always there when you need him, and there's not much more to friendship with him than that. He is a loyal, comforting presence.
Yes, Hoagie Man is like a pint of Tennent's.
Speaking of Hoagie Man, I wonder when he'll be done his mysterious training.
Are you referring to the mythical secret hoagie powers he seeks to unlock through training on a mountain with his father, following a tragic accident rendering him unable to eat a mouth-watering hoagie ever again?
Yes.
I wonder that too.
Such things were beyond their comprehension, for although they were good friends to Hoagie Man, they were not Hoagie Men themselves.
All right, anyway, it's your round. Why don't you set us up with a blonde beer and a stout, in honor of ourselves?
Ha ha, I like the way you think, Rab, you are some cunt.
The end?
Right, it's time for you to pack your shit up and get the fuck out my property.
His onslaught continued.
I get a month's notice, I think you'll find. Tenants' rights.
I don't give a fuck about your rights. Either you pack up your gear and leave now, or I will be on to every landlord you have in the future telling them you're a fucking pedo, haha.
Why are you kicking me out? On what basis? I pay my rent promptly. I never give you any trouble. I've never even had my partner over, we always meet at his flat.
I'm kicking you out for being a lefty Fenian loser. Do you think I can't see your social media accounts? Talking about Karl Marx and rent strikes. You make me sick. People like you will bring Great Britain to her knees.
Landlord's right has its origins in robbery. The landlords, like all other men, love to reap where they never sowed, and demand a rent for even the natural produce of the earth.
You can't treat people like this. One day, we will rise up against you and the rest of the bourgeoisie.
Such disturbances can be felt by a truly gifted guardian of truth and justice.
What's wrong, my son? It's my friend Rab. I can sense that he's in trouble. I must leave the mountain to help him. If you leave now, help him you could, but you would destroy all for which he has fought and suffered. Then what would you have me do?
With our thoughts, we make the world. With chips, cheese and kebab meat, we make the hoagie.
Stay on the mountain. Complete your training. You are still learning the basics. Tell me, what are the main components of a hoagie? Chips, cheese and doner meat. Wrong. You could not be more wrong. Search your feelings. There is more to a humble Hoagie than the obvious. You're right, Da. I must complete my training. Do you think Rab will be okay without me? Unfortunately, in this case, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
How much longer can Hoagie Man spend in isolation, training to reach enlightenment, while the threat back home grows ever stronger?
Are you having a good time on our lassie's holiday, darling?
Yes, I love drinking those big fuck-off giant margaritas you get here, and going for a swim in the sea. Also, the local weed is banging.
Lanzarote is truly a paradise.
I know, I wish we didn't have to go back to Scotland. I would stay here forever if we could.
What if I told you it was possible for us to stay?
Really? How?
There's a bakery here looking for 2 world-class bakers. I think it's a sign.
Oh my god, we met at that mutual aid bread making class. It is a sign.
Well-being for all is not a dream.
Do you think our new boss will let us give out free bread to the homeless?
There are no bosses. It is a workers-owned democratically run cooperative bakery, and they do shit like that every day.
Oh my god, I fucking love baking. I fucking love workers' democracy. And I fucking love you.
I love you too.
In the long run, the practice of solidarity proves much more advantageous to the species than the development of individuals endowed with predatory inclinations.
Sandra and the others will be leaving in 3 days' time. She is worried about Hoagie Man.
If I know anything about Hoagie Man, it's that he possesses limitless potential when it comes to the Hoagie.
There is just one small problem about Lanzarote.
What's that?
They don't sell Whisper Golds here.
I don't care about that. My favorite thing about chocolate bars is enjoying them with you. I'll find a new favorite.
You're the best.
Besides, it would be strange to craft an entire identity around your favorite food. There is more to me than Whisper Gold.
Those who man the lifeboat do not ask credentials from the crew of a sinking ship. They launch their boats, risk their lives in the raging waves, and sometimes perish, all to save men whom they do not even know. And what need to know them? They are human beings, and they need our aid. That is enough. That establishes their right to the rescue. The dark side, of course, provides training of its own. Not interested in politics? Your boss is. Your landlord is.
Thank you for agreeing to meet with me, my master.
Not at all, young apprentice. You are the most powerful new member of the Scottish Conservative and Unionist Party we've encountered for a long time.
No one hates scruffy scrounging bastards more than me.
I'm glad to hear that. Now tell me, why are you interested in politics?
Well, for starters, I'd like to get rid of the minimum wage. Why should an exceptional person like myself be out of pocket to subsidize uneducated feckless losers? Market interference merely punishes those who have climbed to the top through their hard work.
Right. Exactly.
I fucking hate those boggin scroungers.
You need those boggin scroungers to vote for you, and they won't when you word your arguments like that.
What should I say instead?
Try hiding what you mean behind vague statements, and strong-manning the economy. Say something like, I want to encourage competition to stimulate economic growth.
I want to encourage competition to stimulate economic growth.
Now you're getting it.
And I fucking hate tramps, they are disgusting.
Okay, leave that part out.
The dark training continued. The villain continued to learn the trickery tactics of the oppressor.
And if all else fails, just blame immigrants. That always works.
Haha, brilliant.
No, literally, it always does.
I'd also like to ban the hoagie. Nothing makes me more viscerally sick than thinking of some fat, trampy wee prole eating one of those bags of grease.
It's funny you should mention that.
Why's that?
Banning the hoagie has been a long-term goal of ours from the beginning.
Always ask questions of those in power. You never know what they are planning.
Hey there, Craig Meister. Dossing around the water machine as usual.
Oh, hello there. My name's not actually Craig, it is.
I'm just pulling your plunger, mate. I know what your name is.
Right.
It's Chris, isn't it?
We feel free because we lack the very language to articulate our unfreedom.
No, my name is Crisis Beat Guy.
Sure. Crisis Beat Guy. Anyway, CBG, how are you getting on with the KPI spreadsheet?
It should be ready for you by 4 o'clock.
Oh, come on, mate. Let's not pull each other's plungers, okay? Can we try and make that 2 o'clock?
It actually takes quite a long time to do, and I still haven't taken my lunch.
Come on, mate, do old Bill a favor. It will be my arse if we don't have the KPI spreadsheet for the operations team by 2.
Is your boss your friend? This does not weaken the control that a boss has over his employees. Quite the contrary.
Okay, fine.
Crisis Beat Guy, you are an absolute legend. I definitely owe you a pint for this one, yeah. Alright mate, take it easy. Get those KPIs to me by 2.
Sure, I'll start on them right away.
The lines of authority being blurred represents its own unique form of tyranny. If it feels wrong, it usually is wrong. Join a union.
What's the matter, Crisis Beat Guy? You don't seem like your usual self.
It's my job. I'm having quite a tough time at work at the moment, and I'm worried my mental health is suffering as a result.
That sounds really tough.
Sorry if it's insensitive of me to complain about work while you're in the middle of a shift.
It's okay. I'm always here for you.
Every time I see you, the expression on your face gets more and more gallant.
Thanks, Bulbasaur. You're a true friend, and I like your new t-shirt a lot.
Thanks very much. Trans rights are human rights.
Indeed they are. Only a fucking idiot would disagree.
Anyway, I better get back to work. What can I get you?
2 lager please, Bulbasaur. And a pack of dry roasted.
Ultimately, the bond of all companionship, whether in marriage or in friendship, is conversation.
So, is Bill still making your life at work miserable?
It's not just Bill, it's that whole environment. Some days I wake up and think, how the fuck did I end up working for a telecommunications company? We make nothing. My net contribution to society is 0. I fuck around doing these vague, meaningless tasks and someone, somewhere gets rich off it.
Word. But what is the alternative?
Not many people know this about me, but I am a highly skilled artisan cheesemaker.
No shit.
It's true, my family are master cheesemakers on the Isle of Skye, but I grew tired of island life.
That's cool as fuck.
I didn't think so at the time, but actually making something with real craftsmanship. Maybe that was the last time I was truly happy at work.
It's a lot to think about. Anyway, I'm a bit pissed and I need to ask you something.
Friendship is the hardest thing in the world to explain. It's not something you learn in school. But if you haven't learned the meaning of friendship, you really haven't learned anything.
Would it be alright if I stayed with you for a while? Just till I find a new place. That Tory bastard has put me out on my ass, I'll tell you all about it later.
Of course mate, let's get a hoagie each and watch Beetlejuice. I've got some top quality hash in at the minute.
The hoagies are on me, old friend. The hoagies are on me.
Train tirelessly to defeat your greatest enemy, yourself, and to discover the greatest master, yourself.
Now, once again, tell me where Donna meat comes from. The Ottoman Empire, 19th century. The vertical rotisserie was invented in the town of Bursa, modern-day Turkey. No, stop giving me the academic answers, you fucking Wikipedia. Search for deeper meaning within. Donna meat comes from the local kebab shop. Yes, it comes from hard-working people in the service industry, often slaving away in hot conditions, to provide us with a greasy treat while we're intoxicated.
Progress was being made.
Think about it. Across the many years of you scranning the succulent, beautiful hoagie, how often did you spare a thought about those who built them for you? You're right, I love a hoagie, but I had been taking my love for granted. Now close your eyes and think about your relationship with the hoagie. I'm closing them now. I think those fat lines of ayahuasca we razzed are triggering some kind of flashback sequence.
1 month earlier.
That's a pain in the ass. I was wanting to hang a washing out.
If you do go out, bring me in a fucking hoagie, haha.
1 year earlier.
Another 3 pints please, Bulbasaur.
Jesus, Hoagie Man, don't tell me all 3 are for you.
Here we go, 10 in a row.
Oh Hoagie Man, you're the living end.
I can't help it. I love draining delicious ice-cold pints almost as much as I love smashing Tories and Huns. But there's one thing I love more than both.
Are you talking about your girlfriend, Sandra?
No, I'm talking about a fucking hoagie. I could not live without those things.
12 years earlier.
Oh my god, I didn't realize there were any other survivors.
I may be alive now, but part of me died on this battlefield today.
What's your name?
They used to call me Rab.
Nice to meet you, Rab. I'm Hoagie Man. Why don't we leave this theater of conflict behind us, smoke this fat bifter I've got in my pocket, and go and get ourselves a delicious hoagie?
That's the nicest thing anyone has said to me in a long time.
Present day.
Hang on a minute, when were you and Rab in a war? Sorry, that one was definitely a hallucination. Me and Rab actually met at tea in the park. For fuck's sake, Hoagie Man. That's enough training for today.
Rome was not built in a day.
What can I get you?
Cheer up, love, it might never happen.
Oh, good one. I've never heard it before.
2 pints of carling, and make sure those glasses are clean.
Can I get you anything else?
Service with a fucking smile.
Of evil grain, no good seed can come.
Why are we meeting here? This place is a fucking shithole. If I wanted to be among the dirty, lower classes, I would go and sit in a Catholic church or a mosque.
We're meeting here because you have to get used to places like this. Look, believe me, I agree with your sentiments. But you've got to hide them to get ahead in this game.
What about guys like Enoch Powell? He told the truth as he saw it, and remained popular. What about Donald Trump? I think spouting outrageous shit is more popular than you think.
I don't know. Pushing hard on the far-right rhetoric is dangerous. Trust me. If you really want to put an end to the hoagie, be far-right in action, but moderate in speech.
He remained unconvinced.
I'm a classical liberal. I need to be able to speak freely.
Alright. Look, I'll set up a meeting between you and one of my contacts in The Spectator. Generally, you can get away with espousing racist attitudes and open contempt for the working class if you do it in a think piece for a right-wing publication.
Oh my god, really?
Buddy, just look at the type of articles Boris Johnson published in The Spectator.
Mwahahahahahaha.
Ha 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 ha.
The old world is dying, and the new world struggles to be born. Now is the time of monsters.
How's the flat hunting going?
Not really much worth going to view yet. But I should be able to find something in my price range.
Well, there's no rush anyway, mate. I like having you around.
Author's note. Due to making an extremely hoagie-centric series of strange short films, I decided to order a hoagie to enjoy this evening. It's probably been over a year since I last had one. Please, if these videos have you craving a hoagie, enjoy them responsibly. I had kind of forgotten, but it really is an enormous amount of food. The one I got was the length of my forearm, and I couldn't finish it.
Yes, it's hard to beat smoking good quality hash and watching classic movies with your bro.
Speaking of which, do you remember last week when we watched Beetlejuice?
Of course. It was the first night I was here.
Well, I've been thinking about it, and I want your opinion on something. Do you think Beetlejuice is a pedophile?
What makes you think so?
I mean, he tries to get that wee lassie to marry him.
A young Winona Ryder.
Yeah, he tries to get young Winona Ryder to marry him.
While it's true that Beetlejuice is a perverse and problematic character by today's standards, at least the film doesn't quite glorify him. I don't think he's overtly pedophilic, but the guy doesn't deserve a medal either.
Damn, that's a good answer.
Are you still thinking about quitting your job?
If you're brave enough to say goodbye, life will reward you with another hello.
I think I'm going to tell Bill to ram it. I will have to make sure I have another job in place though.
I'll be done here in a minute, then we can hit up the jobs websites again.
Afterwards, we should watch Friday.
Mate, that's a fucking shout. I haven't seen Friday in years.
No yesterdays are ever wasted for those who give themselves to today.
Can I have a double gin and tonic please, and a large glass of Merlot?
No worries. That'll be £7.40 please. I'll just get your drinks.
Some shifts seem to go on forever.
Can I try that new IPA before I buy it, please?
Sure thing.
It's a rich man's game no matter what they call it. And you spend your life putting money in his wallet.
Can I order food for table 7 please?
Sure. What can I get you?
Just a pie, beans and chips please.
No problem. That should be about 20 minutes.
The chips here are absolutely incredible. You've got to have some kind of secret recipe or something.
If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
You pray for an early finish.
2 pints.
And a large glass of dry white wine.
Vodka and orange.
A beer for me and a Smirnoff Ice for the lady.
A steak pie, but can I have my gravy on the side?
6 pints of cider, please.
And a pack of cheese and onion.
But the early finish never comes.
Lager.
Wine.
Vodka.
Rum. And onions.
Sometimes, though, when the right person appears, what seemed like an eternity can pass by in seconds.
Oh, hey Bulbasaur. How's the shift going?
Standard Thursday night crowd. Can't complain.
I was just wondering if you're doing anything when you finish.
I've got no plans.
Would you like to come for a walk with me? Maybe get something to eat.
Took you long enough to ask, Crisis Beat Guy. It's quite a busy shift though. Do you mind waiting?
Not at all. I'll go and see what time the kebab shop shuts. We could split a sit-in hoagie.
Sounds like a plan.
To share your hoagie is to share your life.
I am Maxwell Churchill Murdoch, Dark Priest of the Spectator.
I must say, it's an honor to meet you, my liege. I am humbled by your majestic presence.
Party HQ tells me you're a rising star. I'll have to take you to Jeffrey Epstein's Pado Island sometime. Myself and Andrew Neil have been a few times.
So the legends are true. Amazing.
Now, why don't you tell me about this little article pitch of yours?
Capitalism is the extraordinary belief that the nastiest men for the nastiest motives will somehow work for the benefit of all.
Basically, it has everything. Classist outrage, racist pseudoscience, sexism, victim blaming, implying that the left are somehow in control of the far-right Tory government. Blaming laziness for systemic poverty. In essence, it is the ultimate right-wing comment piece.
You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
It will be called, simply, The Case Against the Hoagie.
The case against the hoagie?
Yes, I think that will do very well indeed. Do you think you can get 2,000 words to me by next week?
Sir, I will give it my all.
Mass media exists to serve the ideological interests of the ruling class.
I must say, it is most curious to see one from your ethnic background becoming involved in our cause.
Not all Smurfs are tree-shagging little fucking communists. Some of us choose to leave Smurf Forest because we believe there is no such thing as society.
Fair enough. Maybe you could also put something in the piece about how Smurf Forest is a failed state, and how Smurfs want to come over here and impose Smurf law upon us.
Smurf Forest is a failed state, but most Smurfs come here because we love capitalism. We don't want to impose peace and love on anyone.
It was just a suggestion. Don't get your knickers in a twist, you blue bastard.
Taking a long, hard look in the mirror can be the hardest thing in the world to do. Often, we ignore what is reflected back at us.
Good one, sir. As if you could trigger me. I'll make sure to give the Smurfs a kicking as well.
You are destined for great things, my boy. Great things.
Hey Sandra.
Bulbasaur. Long time no see.
How have you been? How was the lassie's holiday?
Honestly, Bulbasaur, you have got to come next time. You could buy margaritas by the liter, and the weather was unreal. I'm almost missing Lanzarote already.
Lanzarote, one of the Canary Islands off the coast of West Africa administered by Spain, is known for its year-round warm weather, beaches and volcanic landscape. Atonement 5 National Park's rocky landscape was created by volcanic eruptions in the 1730s. Cueva de los Verdes is caverns formed by an underground river of lava. East Coast Resort Puerto del Carmen is home to whitewashed villas, beaches and dive centers.
Amazing. I will definitely come next time. I'll have to come over to visit Seto, Kyber and Laura.
Those two lovebirds are doing some amazing work at their anarchist bakery, and they're basically already fluent in Spanish.
I hope the narrative takes us back to them from time to time.
I hope so as well. Anyway, speaking of lovebirds, what's this I hear about you going on a date?
Crisis Beat Guy finally asked me out. It was really nice, but we're taking it slow.
I think you and Crisis are a really good match. It was bound to happen sooner or later.
Or, to be honest with you, I'm buzzing that it finally has.
Life can be magnificent and overwhelming, that is the whole tragedy. Without beauty, love, or danger it would almost be easy to live.
Have you heard any word from Hoagie Man?
He sent me a text earlier saying he's learning the metaphysical ramifications of salad and sauce and how they relate to chips and cheese, and ultimately how this will lead to a 32-county socialist United Irish Republic.
That That's cool. I didn't think he'd get mobile phone signal on the mystical mountain he's gone to train it with his father.
The text didn't appear on my phone. It was printed on the side of a hoagie that appeared in my dreams.
We hammer wood for a house, but it is the inner space that makes it livable.
That's so cool. I never remember my dreams.
Yup.
Anyway, let's stop standing around on the street like a pair of weirdos. Are you up for hitting up that pasta buffet and splitting a bottle of Prosecco?
Bulbasaur, you read my fucking mind. I could fairly handle a mountain of carbonara.
There are about 10 plates of penne arrabbiata with my name on them.
Friendship is a food of life.
Speak to me some fundamental truths of the hoagie. A hoagie is not greater than the sum of its parts. Yes. Good. As many different combinations of hoagie exist as there are grains of sand in the desert. Different meat choices. Different sauces. Salad or no salad. Does the salad contain onions? The hoagie is fluid. No hoagie is invalid. Indeed, you have been taught well.
This is the food of an enlightened being. Not as clumsy or random as a munchie box. An elegant takeaway. For a more civilized age.
Tell me, do you still crave a hoagie? Are you still pure rattling for one of those bad boys? It is all a matter of how we perceive time. Every time I close my eyes, I can taste spiced meat sweating into chips and melted cheese. I can feel the neon glow of the kebab shop on my face. I hear the call of intoxicated revelers waiting to be fed. I do not live outside of these moments, for they're always happening.
All moments, past, present and future, always have existed, always will exist.
You are becoming very powerful indeed. I would still be drowning were it not for your guidance. Tell me, what do you plan on doing when your training is complete? Draining ice-cold pints, blasting King Kong bifters, and smashing the capitalist state with the power of solidarity in its ultimate expression, the hoagie. Have I ever told you about my great-grandfather, the first Hoagie Man? No. All I know is that he invented the hoagie. He was born in 1818 in Trier, Germany. He has been called everything from a philosopher and an economist to a revolutionary and a political theorist. Some consider him the greatest thinker to have ever existed. Some consider him the most dangerous man in history. My God, you don't mean, yes, Hoagie Man, your great-great-grandfather, the world's first Hoagie Man, was Karl Marx.
From each according to his abilities, to each according to his needs.
While Karl Marx was working on his magnum opus, Das Kapital, outlining the capitalist system in highly critical terms and predicting its defeat by socialism, he wrote tirelessly. Often, he would not have time to stop and have a full meal, so he had to find a way to eat something convenient that provided him with the requisite calories to fuel his work. And so the hoagie was born. Yes. Sympathetic communists in London's underground takeaways provided him with salad, sauce, kebab meat and cheesy chips. The great philosopher would then combine them in a wrap to consume while he wrote. Holy shit. Yes, every hoagie contains the essence of Karl Marx, and it is because of the hoagie we know that the motivating force of capitalism is in the exploitation of labor, whose unpaid work is the ultimate source of surplus value. I vow to continue the great man's work. I'm going to go and grab some cans and then we'll get back into training. Alright, let's drink some Tenant Super and discuss dialectical materialism.
Workers of the world, unite. You have nothing to lose but your chains. Thanks for coming to see me at work, gorgeous.
I'll always have time for you, Samurai Jack. How is the dissertation going?
It's going really well. People laughed when Glasgow Caledonian started offering the course on finding the Loch Ness Monster, but the science behind it is really checking out.
Well, I know if anyone can find Nessie, it's you.
The mystery of life isn't a problem to solve, but a reality to experience. How are things going with you? Are you still looking for a place?
Yeah, I have a couple of viewings this evening, but to be honest, I'll be sad to leave Crisis Beat Guys flat. It's been a great laugh. Last night we unlocked all of the secret characters in Tekken 3.
I'm proud of you. Which character is your favorite?
It's kind of a devious strategy, but I enjoy playing as Eddie. Nobody can defeat my capoeira.
The king of Iron Fist tournament. How has work been going?
The kitchen has been as busy as always. We've got a new start who has been acting like she's Gordon Ramsay, but I can tell she's just young and passionate. The new menu is looking really tasty.
Well, if you ever need someone to test it out on.
Funny you should mention that. I brought your favorite as a lunchtime treat. Prawn sandwiches.
Yes! Amazing! You didn't have to bring me pieces. You're the best boyfriend ever.
Let me know what you think of the sauce, and be honest.
In a world where you can be anything, be kind.
Crisis beat guy, just the man I wanted to see.
Hello Bill, can I help you with something?
Remember that little favor you did for me with the KPI spreadsheet?
I remember being pressured to rush a piece of work and skip a lunch break. Yes.
Crisis beat guy, you're ice cold. Stop pulling my plunger.
Don't let the bastards grind you down.
If that's all, Bill, I should be getting back to my desk. If you have a work-related request, please send me an email.
I'd prefer to keep this one off record. I'm really sorry to land this on your plate again, mate, but I was just wondering if you could get me that KPI spreadsheet by 2 again.
Actually, Bill, I'm due to take my lunch break. That's a legal requirement. If you're asking me to skip my lunch to do a piece of work for you, please do so in writing. I'm sure my union would be interested.
Sure. No worries, mate. No, definitely make sure you take your lunch. You just get that spreadsheet to me when it's done, alright? No rush.
Thanks, Bill. I'll see you later.
There is power in the union. Lanzarote. Present day.
Hey gorgeous, how was work?
Easy peasy. I finally nailed how to make that almond cake.
Oh my god, you're going to have to teach me, mine's still come out all gooey.
What time does your shift start?
I'm due to start in an hour. Do you have any plans this evening?
The most momentous thing in human life is the art of winning the soul to good or evil.
I've noticed that one of the pubs here has a Street Fighter 2 machine. I really fancy a go.
I haven't played in years. They had one at the youth club I went to as a wee lassie. I was pretty lethal as Ken. Although I pretty much only spammed Hadokens. Who do you play as?
I've never told you this before, but I used to play competitively. I won a competition in Glasgow as Blanka.
Oh my god, I'm not even fucking about, that is so sexy and cool.
Blanka is a video game character from the Street Fighter series, first appearing in Street Fighter 2. He is a feral man from the Brazilian jungle with green skin and the ability to generate electricity.
I've been thinking a lot about it, and I'm going to try and become Street Fighter 2 champion here in Lanzarote.
I love this, and I will do everything I possibly can to support you.
Do you fancy coming to the pub and helping me train for a bit before work?
Of course. Let's go and make you the best Blanka you can be.
Life without love is like a tree without blossoms or fruit.